Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2, or part 2 of episode 1, Chrysalis. The Cat in the Hat plays Life is Strange. I'm Kat, and here we are. The last thing we did in part 1 was take a picture of Rachel Amber Forever. It seems to have erased my save, so I'm going to go ahead and do that so that I can get all the collectibles in this playthrough. Okay, and I've looked at everything in the back of the room, as you recall. And the things in the front of the room to look at: lighthouse.
You can never escape the lighthouse here.
So phallic. Let's see.
Even
forest,
in pictures,
so mysterious.
The forest around here always looks mysterious.
It looks a bit like that picture that you take at the junkyard of the doe, except for obviously the doe isn't in it. But the doe isn't in the picture that you take either, because the doe's a ghost. The doe is Rachel. Although the doe, like Max, also kind of has this doe motif with this Jane Doe thing.
Whoa, Mr. Jefferson is...
And then I thought it was funny that Trevor's got a sweatshirt that says bear deer. Or it's a bear with deer antlers, but it says beer on it.
Instant camera.
So a funny thing about the camera is that's the exact one that he uses in the dark room. That's one that... yeah. So he's definitely got a camera of choice.
Every time I look at Victoria, I feel like she's talking smack about me.
No, she definitely isn't this time.
This is ridiculous. I always get so shy and nervous around Mr. Jefferson.
So they have a little conversation that I missed because I was looking around at everything. But they have one, and now it just kind of looks like they're having one.
Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
So yeah, again, like another your second major choice in the game, but it still doesn't allow you to hand in your picture. And a lot of people on the internet have said like, "Oh, your picture's great. Like, go ahead and hand it in." Max doesn't think it's great. Max doesn't think that she deserves to be here. Anyway.
Do I have to? I just don't think it's that big a deal.
Max, you're a better photographer than a liar. Now, I know it's a drag.
Now that makes more sense in the sentence of that than in the context of when you say that you didn't have time, because she talks about having homework, and it's likely that in this fancy private school she did have too much homework
only the way you
to do this optional contest.
Now, all you need is the courage to share your gift with others. And that's what separates the artist from the amateur.
Okay, Mr. Jefferson. I don't care. I love Max's, like,
Man, he even has
loving the plasma. She always comments on when there's a plasma HDTV, and she says it in those exact words.
Bad boy. So cool that we can check these out anytime. The Decisive Moment by Henry Cartier-Bresson. That's rare. Annie Leibovitz, mad respect.
I know her. She photographs for Vogue.
Good to see.
That's like one of the only photography facts in this game that I've noticed.
Of course.
Although Max does live Abaddon.
I guess that's why I'm here. Here's the poster for the contest.
So I put my graphics settings up a bit higher since episode 1, and like this picture, it still doesn't look, like great, like any kind of photorealistic or whatever. It still looks like hand painted, kind of finger painted-y is the aesthetic in this, but like it's better. So if you feel the need to make fun of the graphics in this game, which I like them, I like they're hand painted, and like I like the mix between like the detail that's like so there in the eyes and the like detail that's a lot less there in like pictures that you can look at. And I love like how Max's pictures that you can look at in the journal are a lot more detailed than like this poster. Okay. Alright, now this part.
You didn't tell me how cute I looked yet.
I've got this like headcanon about
Hot.
the fact that like Max's earbuds can cut out all of this noise very, very easily suggests to me that she spent a lot of money getting noise canceling earbuds as opposed to just standard ones.
I need a serious timeout in the bathroom.
Because like, in case you didn't know, like I'm autistic, I get sensory overload. And so the fact that like Max is like purposefully spending money on earbuds that can like mitigate the effects of like hearing very intensely. Like so. Like you really can't hear anything there. It just suggests to me that like I don't know. I have headcanon that Max gets sensory overload. I don't know exactly why, but like that's, you know. Especially considering that she like just has this vision. It's like especially important for her to have the noise canceling earbuds, but like she bought the earbuds obviously before this happened, so yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna look at everything and everybody. Oh, he smacked me.
Slave to Taylor and Victoria.
I do kind of wish they wouldn't say like slave and like various offensive things that Max says.
There's Taylor, always waiting for Victoria.
Driving a car by the seaside.
These missing persons posters are popping up everywhere.
So like funny thing, if you don't ever look at any of these, like until like after you pull the fire alarm, it prompts you to as soon as you walk out of school. You like one blows into your face or something, and you like are forced to look at it.
I shouldn't be so stingy with my blood.
So I don't know. This bat is creepy. It's got the hair of Chloe and like blood everywhere, and like it's too much. Also, apologies if you can hear chewing noises. I've got a little bit of pasta.
Evan doesn't say much to me, but his photos are very cool.
You shouldn't say much to Evan. He's kind of a jerkwad.
Alyssa is
Although you do save his life, so there's that.
She doesn't hang out with a lot of people.
I fucking love Alyssa. I wish that there was more chances to talk to her. Like, befriend her. So this part just cracks me up.
Picture of Mom and Dad.
Max's dad is a bit of a lumberjack.
Andy, you look
And like,
totally bad.
I don't know. Kiss, kiss. I don't know who Jack is. I don't know. Max is always talking about Abaddon. Is Abaddon's first name Jack? I'm gonna Google that actually. Richard is Abaddon's first name. Okay, so I don't know who Jack is, but Andy is presumably Andy Warhol. It looks kind of like him.
Yes, this poster must stop bullying.
Bully free. It starts with you and, or it starts with me. Me. Oh, bully free me, and then in the middle it says it starts with me. See, I don't like those like posters that you can read like non-consecutively. I just don't like them. They're too confusing for me.
Stella is always deep in her notes.
I wish you could talk to Stella more. She seems kind of cool, other than like the fact that she says she would have made a move on Mr. Jefferson. That's like a little weird.
That's Dana talking to, I think his name is Justin. Dana is on my floor too. She's such an artist.
I mean, everyone you can talk to is on your floor except for the
We must
boys.
make them in a factory.
So I love her description of Dana. It just kind of like lampshades the fact that in the developer diaries they said like we've used archetypes because it's an episodic game and it like helps you like remember what's going on if we use archetypes, and like also to just like makes it gives this story like an indie movie high school feel anyway to have these archetypal characters in them. But like Max is like, they must make them in a factory, so like that's like overboard. And then she's like, I shouldn't be catty, Dana is nice. So she's like acknowledging that like Dana is a three-dimensional person. And this part, oh, I so wish that you could help Daniel. And like, he looks straight in the camera. He's like staring me down, wanting me to help him. Wait, what does that say? Science is boring me to death. Skull. Man, I really wish I could help him.
He's so nice. I wish I could beat the shit out of Logan.
Yeah. I mean, Max is like a scaredy cat. And like, her scaredy cat insecurity like probably saves her from getting shot by Nathan, but like, she's not in any danger. I don't think Logan would hit her. He does like hit, or wait, was that Logan or Zachary who hits Alyssa? It was Zachary. Zachary is the one who like hits Alyssa in the back of the head with the football. So like, we know practically nothing about Logan, other than like he's the baby daddy and he's kind of a decent fellow. I don't think he would be bad to Max if Max intervened. He's always like kind of subtly hitting on Max, or not subtly at all. It just makes me feel very bad that like this game is so anti-bully and we can't help Daniel. Okay. Halloween.
I wish October would last forever. It looks like she's been gone for months.
Yeah, it's 5 months, or a little under 5 months. Missing April 22nd. The game takes place what, like October 11th is the Friday. So, like 4.5 months. And it's interesting, in the alternate universe, her parents make a lot bigger of an effort to find
Don't
her.
make a PC, missed the Poetry Jam tryouts, and I did not steal that backpack.
The cat pics. I read a theory online that the cat pics belong to Nathan. I also read another theory that Nathan was the thief of the cat pics. So, I don't know. I like Nathan as the owner of cat pics. So this is like the most ominous thing.
To find out what I can do.
Like, find out what I can do, save the town, or not, you know. But also, like, if Max can accelerate climate change with her time travel powers, like, I don't know. It makes you think, is Max the only one who has ever been able to time travel? Like, we know that, like, human activity is responsible for climate change. And we know that that's, like, because of, like, coal and greenhouse gases and stuff. But, like, I wonder if any of that would have come to pass without time travel in this universe, since we, like, have a clear canon connection between climate change and time travel. Anyway, I'm reading far too much into that. It just, like, it literally says, like, save Arcadia Bay, and Max is like, oh, I should do that.
They should just call it a sugar machine.
See, that would be helpful if it was a sugar machine in episode 3 when you're looking for the sugar. Oh, I never noticed that before. You can look at the Halloween skeleton.
You can never have enough ghosts and skeletons in the hall.
Not when someone's about to die. That's...
Good thing I left my AK at home.
Yeah, I don't know. Max is being sarcastic, and then Nathan has, like, an actual fucking gun.
Principal doesn't come out of his office much.
Unless he wants to harass you. I don't know. I find it really interesting that the principal, like, lives on campus. Right by the girls' dorm, no less.
Miss Grant is a great science teacher. Rachel Amber. She's so pretty. I hate these posters. So sad.
See, why do you hate the posters? Like, it's very clear that, like, they're a good thing to try and help find her. Like, they might not help find her, but they're a good thing.
I like skater boys.
And again, the bear deer.
Too bad they don't like me.
I know Rachel hung out with the skaters, as Justin said. Rachel hung out with everybody, though, so probably bear deer is just, like, silly.
Favorite time of year. The Bigfoot Stomp.
I wonder what Max and Chloe would be for Halloween. I feel like they'd have the most adorable couples costume. They might just, like, ignore Halloween, like, in the wake of their tragedy. But no, I feel like they'd go to, like, a very low-key, like, drinking wine kind of Halloween party, rather than, like, a rager. And they'd be a couple's costume, for sure. Maybe Mulder and Scully, with, like, gender-bent Mulder, who's definitely Max.
Samuel is such a weirdo, but I kinda like that about him.
Maybe not. Maybe actually Chloe is Mulder. Max is Scully.
I wonder what actually happened to her.
Samuel. I'll have a lot more to say about Samuel probably in episode 3 when we find out, like, all of his stuff.
You can really
His, like, scarf and stuff.
the weird shit.
So I called this number, and it's not a real number. This number right here. And I really just wanted to talk to Steve Hackney about the Ramones, but, you know, whatever. Also, it's just silly, like, the ends of the email addresses, it's very clear they're not real. Like, ArcadiaBayGym.wet. Sad, lonely, depressed. This is, like, our first, like, thing about Kate. Yeah, I kind of feel like this. It's more likely for this to be Nathan, but it would be a lot funnier if Nathan was the one who lost the cat pics, rather than the one who stole the cat pics.
Look at these trophies. Gotta give it up for those big boys.
So Max, like, she doesn't strike me as a football fan at all, but she's like, I should have school spirit. No, you shouldn't. School spirit sucks.
Blackwolf sure takes its swimming seriously. But otters are cute. Go otters.
You're an otter, Max. An otter in my water.
There's Juliet from my dorm. Yet another Vortex Club disciple.
Disciple is a better word than slave, for sure.
Figures.
Sorry, that was my dog barking.
Zachary. Jocks sucked up in the Vortex Club.
Tornado puns.
There's Hayden, another Vortex Club bro. But he's actually not an ass.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he is an ass a little bit. I don't know. Like, I probably wouldn't hang out with him. I definitely wouldn't hang out with Zachary. Or probably Logan, for that matter. You know, I don't like any of the boys in Vortex Club. Courtney, like, gives him a makeover, and, like,
It looks like she's
Juliet is super nice. Dana is, like, super nice as well.
Never be too cool like Nathan and Victoria.
So that's our first reference to Nathan in the whole game, if you haven't read the journal.
American girls, I'd like to be part of the world.
Nerd alert. This poster has Warren written all over
What
it.
is that? Join the chess team.
By the seaside.
And yeah, that's our last missing persons poster. I might have missed one, but like after about like 5 different observations, it repeats itself, so yeah. Oh wait, actually I can go like look at the fire alarm, I think. No, that's later. That's in the dorm, yeah, sorry. Whee! Walk through you. I do like how you can't like walk through a person, they bump you out of the way.
Empty. Good. Nobody can see my meltdown. Except for me.
So in this part, yeah, I don't know. I'll talk more about mental health like later, particularly like the first time we like get a hint that like there's like psychiatric drugs being used on varieties of characters. But like I don't know, one of my friends said like, come on, like this isn't a meltdown. Like even this whole like splashing water on the face and like tearing up your photo isn't a meltdown, and like I kind of agree. But then like if Max was actually having a meltdown, it probably wouldn't be good gameplay. Like, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for her to be like, ooh, let me take a photo of this butterfly. She'd be like, fuck butterflies, fuck everything, if it was a real meltdown, so I don't know. I don't know. I disagree with that wording. Yes, stop it, Max. But then, like, she's 18, you can't expect her to, like, get everything perfect.
Now, who would bother to write that crap?
See, Max can comment on that, but there's a lot that she can't comment on. Like, there's, like, the R word, like, written in several places on campus, and she can't comment on that. And there's, like, a really transphobic thing written in the girls' dorm. I can't, like, oh, the sign says no boys allowed, and someone crossed out boys and wrote balls. So, yeah, I don't know. It probably just, like, has to do with, like, selective dialogue writing, but, like, in that case, like, why did they put in the shit at all? It could be a really powerful statement for Max to, like, comment on, like, actively harmful graffiti rather than just, like, an individual person being targeted, a whole group being targeted. Anyway, I also find it odd that, like, you can use the mirror and that's, like, an action that you can take.
Everywhere I go today, it all started with that bizarre
rather than just a look.
Class.
But, Max,
Am
like,
I going crazy?
like, doesn't repeat that when she, like, makes a point to repeat her other actions when she goes in the, bathroom later on. So this is, like, a flu shot poster. Like, I don't want to look at it. It's silly.
This poster must drive people to have sex.
This, I don't know. I feel like Max's commentary there is a little bit inappropriate, given, like, yeah, okay, if it was a poster without the graffiti on top, that might be an accurate statement. But then Kate Twerks for God is just, like, massively inappropriate for what she just said. But I digress. That's really mean. Like, I wish that you could rip that poster down in the same way that you kind of, like, erase the link from the bathroom mirror.
I'm good to flow. Thanks.
Some people said that's a pun. That's not a pun. That's just a thing. Oh yeah, here's where you can
I
look at the
remember
fire
when
bell.
somebody punked the alarm last month. At least
Punks.
I got out of science class for that quiz.
You like science. You like Miss Grant, right? I really like the floor in this room. The floor looks super good with my graphics at higher. Like, which is weird because, like, the door looks like shit. But, like, I don't know. Like, I think the most important part of this game is the character design. And, like, at higher settings, you do kind of get better lip sync than you do on lower settings, which is, like, one thing the game has been ridiculed a lot for. But, like, I really like the eyes in this game. I like how Max kind of looks perpetually tired. I like that a lot. Alright, and cue, cutscene.
Just relax. Stop torturing yourself. You have a gift. Fuck it.
I don't know. Like, the fact that, like, just relax, stop torturing yourself, you have a gift is, like, not in quotes is very telling. Like, she is kind of directly quoting, like, Mr. Jefferson.
You put a photo up like this every day.
And, like, other people who have told her, like, you know, stop torturing herself, but, like, she's kind of trying to tell that to herself as well. But she doesn't quite believe it. Hence, her actions. But she wants to believe it. I want to believe that, yeah, she wants to believe that, like, she is a good photographer. That's why she, like, goes over to the butterfly. So this, number one, Nathan and Chloe are both very bad at checking the perimeter.
Count to 3.
I will talk about Nathan's anxiety later. I'd rather just straight up watch the scene.
Blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I'll also talk about Chloe's part in the scene later.
Step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family, not me.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet your respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
Leave them out of this bitch!
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down!
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me!
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
So a couple things to say about that scene while Max is, like, rewinding and, like, tripping out over her power. Like, first of all, the sound effects in this are a lot more than I noticed in my first playthrough that didn't have headphones.
How can that be?
Second of all,
In the bathroom. He shot that poor girl.
there's a lot of, like, gendered politics in
I
that
held up my
scene,
hand.
which I'm not really sure how to interpret.
Here.
Like, number one, the fact that this all takes place in the girls'
I already
bathroom,
heard this lecture.
where Nathan is, like, kind of, like, having, like, what could be called maybe a histrionic sort of freak-out thing. It's very interesting. Number two, the whole leave them out of this bitch line, which is, like, immediately followed with, like, Chloe says, like,
The human condition in
Nathan Prescott is a,
Okay,
like,
can I
begs like a little girl. I don't know, there's, like,
Because of her images of hopeless
like,
faces.
I don't know, Chloe, like, begs like a little girl is
I should rewind.
not the appropriate thing there. Number one, you're the one kind of begging for money. Or you're blackmailing, but, like, anyway, you're the one asking for money. And, yeah, I don't know. There's, like, a lot of, like, misogyny in this first part of the game, and it really comes to a head with, like, your decision whether or not to report various things to various people, starting with Principal Wells in this episode. And really coming to a head in the bit when you're walking around in the school right before Kate's bit in episode 2. So, I'll talk about misogyny with, like, David and Principal Wells, but I do think it's, like, there's a lot of gender politics at play in that scene. There's also mental health politics in play. I have more to say about that later, because I have arrived at the first fail state in the game. And the first set of instructions in the game. Because they didn't tell you how to move. Or no, actually, it's not the first set of instructions. There's like a set of instructions to like look.
Photographer who perfectly
I'm a
captured the
human time
situation in
machine.
black and white. Anybody?
Max,
So I'm gonna like,
don't freak out. Not yet.
we'll take selfie.
Why Arbus?
Jefferson asked me a question. If he does again, I'll know this is for real.
Kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift.
I know I'm not dreaming this.
As you all know, the
It's
photo
real.
portrait has been popular
I can
since
tell.
the early 1800s. Your generation
So I
was the
can go
first
back
to
in
use
time.
images for selfie expression.
What if that girl isn't dead yet?
So that's interesting. Like, it's real. I can tell.
Portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and
Is like,
photography.
I don't
I need to
know.
go to the
The only
bathroom
thing you can
quickly and
tell
check it out.
is like what
Max.
you can tell.
Since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
So yeah, again, you do not have the option to say the answer, even though you know the answer at this point. You've heard it once from Victoria. And like Max, like kind of irrationally, like she wants to get to the bathroom as soon as possible, despite the fact that like I repeated Sid Matters to all of you like 3 times probably in there. Oh, let's take the opportunity to talk about that song. A lot of people think that like Obstacles is like the quintessential Life is Strange song, which like yeah, Obstacles has like a lot of emotions, but to all of you like in its lyrics, it's like perfect for this game. And I'll put the lyrics in the description, and I don't have them up on my phone right now, so I'm not going to like analyze them in any great depth. But yeah, just to push kind of against the popular like love of Obstacles. I love Obstacles as much as the next person, but I love it for purely emotional reasons rather than like it fitting the game particularly well. So yeah, Max irrationally wants to go to the bathroom as soon as possible,
Really have to
which makes sense.
Nice try, Max.
It's realistically
You're not
unrational.
gonna get away that easy.
Irrational.
We can talk more after class. Is there anybody here
Shit.
who knows their stuff?
Jefferson wants to keep me after class. And I need time to save that girl.
And also from a game design perspective, like, shows you how you can change your dialogue things as well as just changing like things in the
Very
environment.
good, Victoria.
Whee! And it introduces the like text fact rewind. Actually, like, what happens if you don't?
Victoria. The Daguerrean process brought out fine detail in people's
I'm
faces.
very curious what happens if
making
you
them
don't.
extremely popular from the 1800s onward. The first American daguerreo...
Oh, okay, you have to. Okay, that's another fail state. It also tells you about shift right here, which is useful.
Max.
The Daguerrean
The
process.
Daguerrean process, invented by a French painter named Louis Daguerre around
It's very
1830.
clearly Louis, and you've just heard
Somebody
Victoria
has
pronounce
been
it
reading
like
as well as
incorrectly, but not the same way
Nice
as
work,
incorrectly
Max.
as you did. So I just say
Luis,
The Daguerrean process
as if
made
he's like
portraiture hugely popular,
from a Spanish-speaking
mainly
country.
because it gave the subjects clear, defined features. You can learn more when you actually finish reading the assigned chapters. Max is so far way ahead of Evan.
It's interesting there when she gives it an answer, he doesn't talk about Robert Cornelius.
Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella and Alyssa, get it together. Taylor, don't hide. I'm still waiting for your entry too. And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
Max, you are not crazy. You are not dreaming. It's time to be an everyday hero.
Yeah, so that line's pretty cheesy, but she's got the everyday heroes contest in her brain anyway, so like, I'll forgive it. Now, I tried to like look around at all this stuff, and it just says like variations on like, Chloe's gonna die, like, go.
I'm sure you know what it's like to be.
There are like a lot of variations of
Why
that.
is this? What are you waiting for? Go.
Yeah, like things like that. However, the window is different.
Everything looks the same. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. But this isn't funny.
Nice answer, Max. Are you okay? You look pale.
Kate,
So this is pretty interesting. She's like
This is
still
my
in the
first
freak
time.
out mode.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm just dripping. Too much stress.
I know the feeling.
And then this like I wish we didn't
I
know
wish
too
we
much
didn't.
stress.
I do have to go, but we can
I like
talk
that
later.
option better. It's
I'll
more
see you
reassuring
later.
to Kate.
Thanks, Max.
Despite the fact that in this timeline you can't keep your T date. Okay, and like, yeah, it just says like Victoria and Jefferson are in the same place, and I wish I could talk, or Yeah, I wish I could
I
talk
wish
to
I
Mr.
could go talk to
Jefferson.
Mr. Jefferson about what's going on. But I can't.
So there was a fan theory between episodes 4 and 5 that
Excuse me.
Jefferson was a time traveler
Mr.
as well.
Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
In which case she definitely
Excuse
shouldn't
you.
talk
No,
to him.
Victoria.
Because,
Excuse
like,
us.
he would kidnap
I'd
her
never
away
let
and,
one
like,
photography
make her be
future
his,
stars
like,
avoid
time
handing in
travel,
her picture.
I don't know, like, use her for nefarious purposes, I think. And then these are not the same options as earlier, but
I'm not
they're
avoiding
similar.
it.
You get different dialogue from
Buying
Mr.
time,
Jefferson.
Waiting for the elusive right moment.
It's also the audio
Max,
feels a little different
Don't
through
wait
that
too long.
window above the
John
door,
Lennon
which
once
is
said that
pretty
life
cool.
is what happens while you're busy making other plans. Go on now. Don't let me stop you.
And some people have said, like, this whole, like, this being the introduction to, like, you've learned a useful fact and, like, press control quickly is, like, silly. But, like, I think it's pretty cool because Mr. Jefferson, like, I don't know. Think back to, like, if you were ever an insecure teenage girl, which I was. And if I were suddenly given time travel powers, yeah, I would, like, save Chloe and, like, save people's lives and stuff if given the chance. And, like, Max is definitely given the chance in this game, but, like, I would also, like, use them to improve my own lot in life. And, like, when you're an insecure teenager, your own lot in life is, like, how other people view you. And, like, how you feel about how other people view you. So, yeah, this is just an extremely, like, realistic
This is
use
so
of her power.
fucking bizarro.
So fucking bizarro. I also like how, like, it rewinds at different speeds depending on, like, what exactly is happening. Whether it's an important... When it's an important thing that's rewinding, it rewinds slower.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, I'm gonna say John Lennon, and then...
I'm on top of it.
I don't know, I think it's kind of silly that John Lennon is the right answer.
What happens while you're busy making other plans?
Because it's just, like, a
Max,
quote that he used to
you're on
inspire
fire.
her, rather than, like,
All
a
the
right
answers.
answer.
Good. Make sure you finish working on it by today.
So, like, the eyes in this game are pretty well done, and, like, I can't read a whole lot out of the eyes, but, like, Mr. Jefferson's always kind of look a little creepy, regardless of, like, in comparison to other people's eyes. So, like, that's pretty cool. Does she have a comment about the plasma, or is it just,
Stop
like,
this
go?
bullshit and
Okay.
go save that girl.
Tasty plasma. Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
I hope I have enough time to get to the bathroom. Please, please.
Yeah.
I can't tell anybody. They'll think I'm crazy.
So, like, if you go and, like, look at these people...
See how hip she is.
Uh-huh.
She plays it so shy. She's
I'm-
so fucking
I'm-
shy. She takes selfies with a giant camera.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
They have no idea what's going on.
So yeah, if you look at these people who are right next to you, you don't really you it's just like pretty general commentary. Like let's look at Taylor as well.
Stop staring and go.
Yeah, it's just like pretty general commentary, but as you like move down the line, you get commentary like more related to the specific
Forget
people,
about them and go before that girl died. Nobody here can
which
help
is pretty
you.
interesting because like it's kind of incentivizing you to not stop and look around at things.
Get going, Max. You don't have time.
Like, I'm not going to look at the posters because there's just variations on that, but, like, looking at the people is interesting because, like, she's like, I wish I could talk to this person and things like
I
that.
wish I could talk to somebody about this. But everyone would think I'm nuts. How can everybody look so calm when I feel so stressed?
Probably because Justin is high.
For making sure nobody kicks your ass.
Stella is still there.
Yeah.
with us.
So that's, like, the first, like,
Max.
Stella and Dana are the first, like, actually interesting things that are said.
Not the boss, bro.
No, I'm just trying to go to
So, yeah, and then this,
Daniel is getting bullied all over
I hope he doesn't
again.
remember.
I hope he
That
doesn't
breaks my heart. Since I have time powers, I could stop this, and I really wish the game gave me an opportunity to do so. Like, again, I feel such shit about Daniel.
You can't help me at all, Logan.
Yeah, no, you can't. You're an ass.
Brooke has no idea of the shit
This is
going
true.
on.
She has no idea of many things going on right now. Can we see her screen? Ah, we kind of can. Cannot tell what she's playing, but there is something on her screen. Actually, there's
I
something...
won't hurry to that bathroom.
Yeah, that's
I have
another
to go
interesting
in
thing that
trouble.
happens. And really, there isn't much else interesting. Oh, wait, you can tell Samuel what's going on, and
I
you can't tell him, but it says, like, you can't tell
He
him.
might believe me.
And it says that he might believe you, which is, you know, accurate.
as interesting as that girl about to die.
I don't mind the muffin. But can't you make up your damn feet?
Did he just call her my muffin? I'm not gonna look at you, Zachary. That's really embarrassing.
Why look at him? He
My
can't
dog's
help
name
you.
is Muffin. I'm gonna look at Juliet.
No, Max, they can't save that girl in the bathroom.
Okay, and cue cutscene.
Okay, Max, retrace every step. I washed my face.
So, like, Nathan's, like, kind of freak-out thing, he is trying to use self-calming skills, and, like, Chloe also having her own issues when he's, like, in the process of, I don't know.
Out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a...
I'm not saying that it is Chloe's fault that she got shot, but the conversation might have gone better, like, in the same way that the conversation went better with Frank.
What are you doing?
If you,
Tell me what to do.
I like, the conversation might have gone better in the same way that it went better with Frank.
So sick of people trying
Like,
to control me.
You are going to get in
I need a hammer to
like,
break it open.
if Chloe had been a little calmer.
Would they?
Get that gun away from me!
And I find it pretty interesting that, like, that's not an option that you have to, like, go up to Chloe and be like, yo, stay calm. It's definitely because, you don't know Chloe at this point.
Nobody would. Don't ever tell me what.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about this.
Nobody has a gun. I should do something.
So it's Max's own insecurity that, like, saves her from getting shot right there and allows her to save Chloe. So that's pretty cool.
Tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying.
Yeah, sick of people trying to control him.
Nobody would.
Addiction.
Miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho. There's a lot of very, like, coded language in this regarding mental illness. And I think that, like, it's often talked about that, like, Chloe and Nathan might both have mental illness. Like, we see that Chloe, or someone in the house, is taking Prozac. We see that, Nathan is taking... I don't remember the names of what Nathan is taking, but he is taking things.
Do not
And, like...
out.
I don't know. It's just, like, I don't know. We can see that, like, Chloe is handling Nathan's mental illness very badly, and Nathan is handling Chloe's mental illness very badly. So... And obviously there's going to be disagreement from people about whether or not they are mentally ill. You know, in the same way that a lot of people disagree about whether mental illness is even a category. Like, not in the sense of, like, people should just get over it. In the sense of, like, disability studies people kind of, like, disagree about how that sort of thing is handled. And, like, whether or not you can, like, categorize people's inner states and pathologize them. It has things to do with neurodiversity, but anyway, for the sake of clarity, I will be referring to what is often coded by society as mental illness in this game. I will be referring that to mental illness, despite the fact that I do think that we need to seriously, like rethink our conceptualization of mental illness, particularly in this country. So, yeah, Nathan and Chloe do not understand each other at all. I think it's very telling that, like, there's no such thing as, like, the Price-Scott ship. There probably is. Like, don't hold me to that, but, like, it's not even one of the more common things. Like, Call-Scott is a thing, but, like, ugh. I don't know. Price-Scott is, like, definitely not a thing. And yeah, nothing in the toilets. Can I look at anything anymore? I wish I could look at the Illuminati. Like, comment on the Illuminati. There's one in Chloe's truck as well. And there might be one in Chloe's room. So yeah, I guess my point about mental illness is, like, that... Like, that is an example of what happens when, like, gun control... I should also look up gun control laws in Oregon. That's the thing that I should do, like, before I film the bit about, like, David's gun wreck. That's a thing I should do. But regardless, my point is that, like, because there was a gun involved, because there was, like, two people in extremely volatile states involved, like, I feel like Max should have had the option to intervene, but it is consistent with her character that she didn't, that she was too scared to. So, yeah. And it's only on Thursday when she, like, intervenes in, like, a gun-related situation with...
Hey, do you hear that fire alarm?
Well, I guess Tuesday counts with, Frank stealing the gun, or not, you know, dependent.
Excuse for what?
So, David... I find that particular response from David and Principal Wells, like, talking about, like, periods are fake, I find that to be extremely unrealistic. A lot of teachers I have had, like, you could say, I'm on my period, I need to go to the nurse, or I need to go to the bathroom, and they would just get so red in the face, and, like, be like, okay, I'm so sorry, and, like, especially because they don't want to get blood on their chairs, but partially just because, like, men are scared of periods. And, like, this is, like, a private school. Surely they don't see many people, like, using periods as an excuse for, quote, whatever you're up to. Well, maybe Chloe did. I could kind of see Chloe doing that, but, like, people who use periods as an excuse for things just kind of, like, make shit harder for the rest of us. So, like, don't do that. Don't do that. And there's nothing to look at in this part. Like, the only thing that you can do is talk to Principal Wells or, like, leave. And if you try to leave, he's like, yo, Max, talk to me. So after this interaction is going to be where I end this part.
You look a little stressed out. Are you okay?
I'm just a little worried about my future.
You're sweating pinballs. Is that all you're thinking about? You can always be upfront with me, Max. Or have you done something wrong?
So this, like, you can always be upfront with me unless you've done something wrong. So, I don't know. I have a lot to say about the kind of, like, politics of reporting things when the person that you're reporting is a person who has a lot of power. And, like, how being, like, either a boy who cried wolf or someone who hides the truth kind of, like, is kind of a calculated action rather than a moral action in this game. Particularly when it gets to be later, like, in the bit where you can, like, report David to Mr. Jefferson, or, like, report David to Principal Wells, I think, in, the bit in episode 2, right before you go into Mr. Jefferson's classroom near the end. Like, it becomes more of a calculated action. Particularly the, like, Kate going to the police thing near the beginning of episode 2 is, like, very much a calculated action, and I'm not sure that it should be. Like, because we don't really have like a mathematical formula for, like, how reporting or not reporting various things will affect things. So in kind of a similar way to real life, you just have to, like, go with your gut, and, like, my gut says, like, report Nathan. I've done that in all my previous playthroughs, including the ones that, like, haven't been me. It's been, like, a friend playing. So I think I am going to go with hide the truth this time and see, like... I've heard that there's, like, a condition where you report Nathan, but Nathan doesn't get suspended, Max does. And... yeah, I don't know. So there's also this moment, like... I don't know, you never do have a chance before the very end of episode 2 to report Mr. Jefferson for anything. Yet if you do that, regardless, like, he gets suspended because, like, you're reporting him for a very minor action, and so there's no reason to disbelieve you, as well as the fact that there's, like, lots of witnesses to Mr. Jefferson making Kate cry. So, despite the fact that, like, he's the most culprit-y person, he doesn't have as much power to influence Principal Wells as, like, David does, who, like, quote-unquote keeps Blackwell safe in the era of, like, Rachel Amber. Oh, fuck.
I just saw Nathan Prescott waving a gun.
Sorry, I, like, dropped something on my mouse. Fuck.
Nathan
okay, well, I'll go back. I want to choose hide the truth to see what happens.
Yes, he was in the bathroom talking to himself with a gun. I saw everything.
But, like,
babbling like crazy.
I don't know, but babbling like crazy also is, like, a questionable thing.
Without him seeing you.
I was hiding behind a stall. I have the right to be there. It's the girls' room.
I know. I just want to be completely clear what happened. Mr. Prescott
So yeah, this house was distinguished family thing, and like Nathan can get his record expunged at any time.
To see him brandishing a weapon
I don't know.
in the girls' bathroom.
Like so often, people who like do shit things are in positions of
I
power.
ran out here wondering what to do.
So often, and it just
bust
sucks that that's like a realistic thing. Principal Wells like looking into it personally, which means calling up Sean Prescott and being like, "Don't let your kid bring a gun to school anymore."
We'll continue this discussion later in my
Or even
office.
like being like believing Nathan over me when without me Nathan wouldn't even have a chance to like. I don't know. Academic drone. That's funny because Brooke has a drone and she's like an academic person. Yeah, I'm going to. That was a mistake. Whee! Okay, and speak to you.
Stressed out.
Hide the truth, that's what I'm gonna do. And like, on my first playthrough, it was a calculation between like, he's not actually going to investigate Nathan, or he's not actually going to investigate Nathan and my scholarship in some danger. After having sat through the game several times, like, even getting suspended, it's not a game over state.
There's nothing
to
hide. I got sick.
Like, I don't know.
It happens.
Keeping your scholarship is not a concern, and
I've heard enough. Don't think I don't know what goes on around here. You've only been here for 3 weeks, and you're already causing conflict. I don't think your parents will approve when they find out.
Yeah, you do get an angry text from your parents, but you don't actually have to deal with it. It just is kind of flavorful. Okay.
No, he does not buy that at all.
And like, no matter how many things you do that like Max says could endanger her scholarship, like take responsibility for the pot and like get suspended later on, depending on like who you report to and what you report, like throughout the whole game. Like, she never actually loses her scholarship. Like she, I don't know. There is also the question, like, if you save Bay with an E, does Blackwell Academy still exist? Like, is Max going back to school? Max isn't going back to school because, like, she and Chloe are going on, like, a romantic road trip.
Max,
but, like,
you better go on outside.
Oh, shut up. So, yeah, I don't know. There isn't, it never actually comes out and says, like, Max has lost her scholarship, ever. And, like, it doesn't really matter because, like, in either ending, she is not going back to that school. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish this part here, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching The Cat in the Hat Plays Life is Strange Chrysalis Part 2.